Hey folks, it's Rob from Rob's Movie Collection, and I've been doing some other kind of type of videos lately, and I wanted to get back to what I always meant to do when I first opened this channel, which is talk about individual movies. So, in honor of Olivia de Havilland's 100th birthday, just about a month ago, she turns 100, that's amazing. I'm going to do The Adventures of Robin Hood, as you can see right here. So The Adventures of Robin Hood's from 1938. It stars, of course, Errol Flynn, great swashbuckler, and the aforementioned Olivia de Havilland as Maid Marian. Also starring Basil Rathbone in his role as the Sir Guy of Gisborne, very evil, very villainy. And also Claude Rains as Prince John, who is deliciously evil in his portrayal. And Alan Hale, father of Alan Hale Jr. A lot of you may know Alan Hale Jr. from Gilligan's Island. But Alan Hale, his father, did a lot of movies with Errol Flynn. And in this one, he plays Little John. So Robin Hood was one of the first Technicolor pictures back in the day when they were just starting to do color film. It's really good. It's a beautiful looking film. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It was directed by two directors, Michael Curtiz, or Curtiz, I should say, and William Keighley. And of course, I should mention the music by the great composer Eric Wolfgang Korngold. Just a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. It almost seems kind of like a fantasy film in a way, with all the rich colors and all that. It's got very defined, it's very black and white, very good versus evil. I mean, they're fighting, Robin and his merry men are fighting for the noble King Richard, who, according to the credits at the beginning, is in the Holy Land, driving out the infidels, which of course in real life means he was out there subjugating people, but in the world in this almost fantasy world of Robin Hood, he's a noble guy who's out there to do the right thing, and they're of course trying to protect his kingdom. But that's kind of the way you have to look at this movie. That's the way it was in those days. I've mentioned it before that this is my favorite Robin Hood film of all the movies. Now, I haven't seen every single Robin Hood film, but of the ones I've seen, this is definitely my favorite. I can't imagine any other one being better than this, certainly not the most recent one with Russell Crowe. But this is definitely the one that sticks out for me and is the best one. It's got some beautiful set pieces, such as Nottingham Hall. They built this thing. It was, this is old Hollywood, and they're just beautiful set pieces. And they went out and filmed up in Chico in the forest, and took some forest with them, and kind of, put some trees up there. And they also filmed up here nearby in what used to be Busch Gardens. It's not around anymore, but some of you younger viewers may not remember Busch Gardens. It's just a great film. It's got a wonderful, iconic scene at the beginning when Robin comes into the hall with the deer over his shoulder and just plucks it down in front of the Prince John and Sir Guy Gisborne, all the Norman, what's it called, Normans, well, whatever they're called, and just proclaims what he's going to do and how he's going to be against the Prince John and all these guys. I mean, that's just great. And there's beautiful music that comes with it, and then he starts kind of meets and flirts a little bit with Maid Marian, who of course doesn't like him at first. It's just great, and it's got mischievous nature to him, and all the merry men. There's a lot of hands on hips and throwing your head back and laughing in this movie, and that's just great. When I was in my 20s, my younger cousin and I went to see this film at the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood when they were showing it there, and we just kind of laughed for a long time. To this day, whenever we see each other, we just throw our hands on our hips and throw our heads back and laugh, because remember that movie. So it's got this beautiful iconic fight on the stairway at the end of the film, and you've got those shots in the where the shadows are up against the wall, and it just that has been done over and over again. I think it might have come from this film originally. So anyway, it's just a beautiful film. The DVD is a great DVD. It's a 2-disc special edition. Now, when I was thinking about doing this video, I went to look for it, and I found that I had just the single disc one, and I could have sworn I had this 2-disc one. So I had to wait a little bit. I had to order it from Amazon, and because I wanted to have the 2-disc one to show you guys, and I'm glad I did. It's an amazing little disc here. We got the inside of it. It's got the 2 discs. It's got the movie, of course, and the special features. Now, it's got some great little special features here. Welcome to Sherwood, the story of the adventures of Robin Hood. It's got this great documentary on the making of the film. It's got a lot of interesting stuff. Like, for example, I never knew that originally James Cagney was going to be Robin Hood. But then he had a falling out with Warner Brothers, and in the meantime, Errol Flynn had made Captain Blood, and it was this big hit, and they thought, hey, here's this guy who's really popular right now, and he's pretty dashing, and hey, why don't we make him Robin Hood? And thank God. Nothing against Jimmy Cagney, but I can't imagine him as Robin Hood. And Alan Hale, who played Little John, apparently had previously played the same role in the 1922 version with Doug Fairbanks, and then actually played it again afterwards in the 50s in another movie. So he was pretty familiar with the role. Another interesting thing is that Olivia de Havilland's horse in the movie was actually turned out to be a famous horse, because it actually became Trigger, Roy Rogers' horse, and went on to a lot of fame with Roy Rogers, and that lasted for a while. So who knew that? Like I said before, it was one of the first Technicolor films. It's beautiful, and they have a documentary here on called Glorious Technicolor. Very interesting about how color first started to come into Hollywood, and how difficult it was to make movies in color, and why a lot of people resisted it and didn't really think much of it, and just a bunch of, and of course they've got classic cartoons. The Warner Brothers, since this is Warner Brothers, you got Rabbit Hood and Robin Hood Daffy. There's 2 of the classic Robin Hood related Looney Tunes right there, and a bunch of other stuff. Just a great little DVD here, and really like it. So yeah, anyway, that's Robin Hood, The Adventures of Robin Hood, and check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's a great film, really holds up. Saw it when I was a kid for the first time, saw it again yesterday for this video. Loved it just as much, maybe even more. So I definitely recommend it. The Adventures of Robin Hood, swashbuckling at its best. Okay, so check it out. Feel free to leave some comments, subscribe if you can, and yeah, keep watching movies. All right.